Hi everyone, welcome to Why Shy Why for this week. Thanks for joining me. If you're joining for the first time, Why Shy Why is where I take a bunch of questions from our client community, sort of theme them up, synthesize them, analyze them, and then deliver them to you in these short little videos, just in case you're going through similar problems in your workplace. For this week, I wanted to talk about something that will be one of the top 3 mistakes in 2024, and that is abstract metrics and how they influence the project in a really negative way. Alright, to fully comprehend this, I'd like to use a metaphor. The metaphor takes us out of software and into finance. Companies have stock prices, most of them, some of them. Now, these stock prices are a good metric, or are they? Sometimes these stock prices have nothing to do with, or very little to do with, the actual performance of the organization. They can be influenced by things that are outside of the organization's control. Things like consumer confidence, or the general economy, or institutional or influential investors, or things that are inside the company's control. Things like PR and the way that the CEO speaks and the things that they are talking about, right? All these things influence the stock price of an organization despite the actual performance of that organization. So what will usually happen is we take the stock price, we also will ask for quarterly financials. And that allows people to sort of play one against the other and ask actual questions that will make the executive team of that organization deliver answers in a way that gives you the understanding of the reality. Okay? Now let's bring us back into the software digital product development world. Same thing happens with projects. You have a project team, you have a steering committee of some sort, project sponsors, executives, etc. And these two groups of people need to communicate, and they tend to communicate through status updates, right? And what we've found is that the use of metrics in status updates actually can be detrimental to the success of the project. And the reason why I say that is because we see metrics that run us in the wrong place all the time. My favorite is the traffic light indicators. You guys have probably heard me talk about this before. The red, amber, green indicator. Despite most projects being what I call the watermelon indicator, which is green on the outside, red on the inside, we tend to think of this abstractness as the truth. And there is so much color inside of a red, or inside of an amber, inside of an orange. Sorry, what's the other color? Green. That we just gloss over, right? In fact, let me tell you a quick story. There's a gentleman on our team who used this in a bit of a social hack to be able to deliver this project that he was on. He would display from day one, from month one, a red indicator every single time. And the reason why he ended up doing this was because he found that whenever a red indicator was thrown up at one of these meetings, he would get more engagement from those people that actually needed to hear what was going on. And that engagement was key to actually conveying the actual progress, the reality, of the progress of the project to these folks. And why is that important? Well, then they engage in conversation, they bring to bear with them their political capital, their financial capital, their intangible capital, and you can use that capital in a way that allows your project to benefit from it, right? The idea here is to incite conversation. That's what we're trying to do, okay? Which brings me to the other metric that I also dearly love. I actually do love this metric for things like long-range forecasting, multi-year planning. For continuous improvement, this metric is brilliant. Velocity, right? But to deliver projects, oh my gosh, no, stop, please, do not. And the reason for that is because it's like the stock price. It changes based on outside factors, inside factors, factors we don't even know about, multiple factors playing with each other. The complexity of getting a project like the ones that we are professionals of out the door is astounding, right? So what we're trying to do is to take that complexity, put it into a number called velocity, and then display it to people and make it really efficient. It doesn't work, guys. It just doesn't work. I was in this project status meeting for a project that I'd been on for a while, and it was the same stuff. Velocity is this, why did it go up, why did it go down? And the usual response is, oh, we lost some people, oh, there was client side, blah, blah. All the stuff that nobody really got to the bottom of things with, right? And I sat there and I was like, wait a minute, like, is anyone else hearing the lunacy here? We're talking up here about like people leaving and client-side problems and blah, 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 blah. But really what's going on down here in the actual project team, we just got off a call with them, are these sets of problems. Why aren't we talking about those things? Those are the things that fix the other things, right? And I'm thinking like, I can't be the only one who sees this, surely. Yeah, sometimes I think quite highly of myself. But hey, I think I was the only one who saw it. And this was the part of the lunacy of the whole thing, right? So let's fast forward a little bit. People ask me, well, okay, which metrics would you recommend? I don't recommend metrics, not anymore. Instead, what I recommend in both those examples you heard is conversation. And one tip here, conversation is not about just coming in there and delivering. Conversation is about getting engagement, right? So if you're grappling with a problem, talk to your project team, come up with a couple of binaries, right? Take that decision-making process back to your project status meeting and say, hey, there was this and there was this. We chose about here and we want to move forward from here. And what that allows that executive to do is to sort of go, well, wait a minute, let me check your thinking here. And you have a conversation, right? The moment you sort of walk in and go, we made this decision, we're going to do this, then, okay, yes, that's it. Or no, don't, right? And you've got like a binary response. But if you show someone you're working, then what will happen is you start to have a conversation. Alright guys, that's it for this week. If you have any questions like that one or any others that you've seen, here are socials or at the end of the video, feel free to shoot us some of those and I look forward to responding.